Hi, I'm Dan Schmitt. I do a weekly television show called Team Chicago Challenge. My website is teamchicago.tv, teamchicago.tv. But to contact me, my email is teamdan45@gmail.com. Today we're going to be looking at a 4-hour national endurance, and I tell you this, Atlanta Motor Speedway, what a great track. We got an infield, we use a little bit of the outside, and it's a pretty good track. So let's go check out the racing action, round 3, and let's see how Team Chicago does at Atlanta Motor Speedway with WERA. The third round of the WERA National Endurance Series. Bikes are out taking a warm-up lap as we see Steve Karson on at Team Chicago, Yamaha dealers, 4 and 6 prepared, R6. And this is the infield. It's a pretty nice racetrack. The configuration that we're running through the infield and back out, but we don't go up into the banking. We run on the lower portion, the apron, through turn 1 and 2. There's quite a bit of space. It's a great racetrack. Waiting for the flag man. Board goes sideways. To start this 4-hour national endurance at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Jumping out front. Number 5 is D&D Racing. This team out of Georgia. And at 1,000 Yamaha, but making a move now is ArcLight Suzuki and the 750 Suzuki. Right behind him is Team Pennzoil, number 22. Is ArcLight from Lafayette, California. Heads into the S corners. They lead to the turnaround. You get on the gas, shifting up, accelerating. D&D second, Pennzoil third. Some guys from MotoHeaven.com and PowerSportsHeaven.com and the 600 Yamahas made a great start. Number 25 and 24. Army of Darkness about 8th or 9th. Now they head down the front straightaway. They come into the pit entrance, slam on the brakes, downshift, make this hard right, then a left. And that will lead them back around the pit area. As you see, ArcLight Suzuki come flashing by in the lead. Sponsored by Suzuki, Pirelli, Motion Pro, second place, D&D Racing, sponsored by D&D, EBC, Sprocket Specialist, Dynajet. And they're on that 1,000 Yamaha R1. Team Pennzoil, sponsored by Team Extreme, D&D, Motorsport Graphics, Suzuki at Canton. And they're on a 750 Suzuki. Another local team, 2 local Georgian teams running second and third out here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. D&D is stretching the legs on that 1,000 Yamaha, but ArcLight and the 750 Suzuki. Okay, these guys have got it together as it goes through the chicane. And you have Suzuki, Pirelli, Motion Pro, Yash, Factory, EBC. You see Steve Karson come by in the Team Chicago. Yamaha dealers, 4 and 6 prepared. R6 Yamaha. Torco Racing Fuel, Torco Racing Oil.
AirTech, Race Tire Service Dunlop, Nolan Helmets, Regina Chain, Weir Dampening, Micron Lap Counter, and Bates Leathers as he makes it through the switchback on the front straightaway. He heads into the fast sweeper that wraps around the pit area. Take a full view of this infield, this fast sweeping corner, the short chute. Now you drop down into this right-hander. Another short chute. With this rise in the middle. On the brakes, downshift. Right, left, right. As he heads out to turn 1 and 2 on the big track. But up front, ArcLight Suzuki, and as the teams sort themselves out, teams are sorting themselves out. Frickin' Frack Racing 134, but ArcLight number 2 is in the lead. ArcLight Suzuki, but now running in second place, 65 with Joe Temperado, is Paramount Racing, and at 600 Suzuki, sponsored by 4 and 6. Going good out there is Leaning Lizards on that Kawasaki Team Green. Those Kawasaki. Moving into fourth place was PowersportsHeaven.com. Number 25, Frickin' Frack on that Kawasaki is in fifth place. 22X J&J Motorsport at 900 Kawasaki is in ninth place. These guys are going pretty good. As Steve Karson comes by on the Team Chicago, 4 and 6 prepared, Yamaha, running a pretty solid race. They're about mid-pack, but it seems like most of the teams are in middleweight super stock with us. And after 1 hour, it's ArcLight Suzuki, Paramount, D&D, PowersportHeaven.com, Frickin' Frack, Army of Darkness, MotoHeaven.com, Leaning Lizards, J&J Motorsports, and Sunshine is 10th. And now it's time to switch over as I take over to Team Chicago R6.
You got the gas cap? He's got the gas cap. We're still fueling for shit. Never mind.
It's my turn to go out on the Team Chicago R6 Yamaha and through the coned track entrance. Stay tight along this wall. The pit area is on the inside. You head down this back chute, shift up, get on the gas. Then downshift into this right-hander, and we're going to get a chance to look at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Well, it might have been Frickin' Frack Racing getting by. 134 on that Kawasaki, and they're sponsored by R&R Heating and Air, Hammer Landscaping, Hit Pockets. I go over the hump, and this brings us into the S's. But this right, left, right. That's a short chute. Downshift. Shift up once. Shift again. Short shift. You get on the gas. Through the NASCAR turn 1 and 2. Head down the back straightaway. Picking up the revs, picking up the speed. Late brake. Downshift. Through the chicane. Back on the gas. Leads us through turn 4. But we head through the pit area. Stay on the gas. Slamming the brakes, 2 downshifts. Throw the bike over to the right, then to the left. Get on the gas. Now we turn back into the infield. Another high-speed corner. Stay on the gas. You got to figure this corner out right because they got the cones. We only can use half the track here. And you got this downhill right-hander. And this is Atlanta Motor Speedway, home of NASCAR. I'm sure Richard Petty and the gang from NASCAR never ran this infield. You go over the hump. As we see Arclight Suzuki stretching their lead. They're 1 lap up on D&D is officially in second, Paramount's third. MotorSportHeaven.com is fourth. The Army of Darkness moved up to fifth. Frickin' Flack is in sixth. Leaning Lizard and moved up to seventh. MotorHeaven.com's eighth. J&J Motorsport and their Kawasaki ninth. And Psycho Motion's 10th place. As we see DRS Racing on their 750 Suzuki. They're sponsored by the Sport Bike Connection and they're out of Hickory, North Carolina. Moving up now, Team Pennzoil, number 22. They're trying to catch up, make up for the downtime in that first hour. That Kawasaki, Leaning Lizard, it's like Brian Healy, this Ohio-Indiana connection. But we've been helping out each other out this year, last year in the pits, on the brakes, 1 downshift into the chicane. And Brian's got a little more speed. He's riding pretty good out here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. This is their first time here. We were here 2 years ago. Now we're going to move ahead. As we see 22, and 22 is on the move. That's 22X. And they're in 9th place on their 900 Kawasaki. As I come to the end of the second hour, we'll be heading back into the pits. And after 2 hours of racing, up front is Arclight Suzuki. Second place now is D&D Racing. Paramount's in 3rd place. MotorSportHeaven.com's in 4th. Army of Darkness 5th. Frickin' Flack is 6th. Leaning Lizards is moving up to 7th. MotorHeaven.com is 8th. J&J Motorsports is 9th. And Psycho Motion has moved into 10th place. So head back into pits, and we're going to turn this over to Steve Karson as we continue with this 4-hour national.
Hold it down and turn it.
Get the oil in?
Yep, it all went.
Huh?
It went.
Okay. Get on there too.
Check the rear tire, Dan.
Yeah, looks
Shred.
fine.
Sorry. You're good.
As we see Melissa Burkhoff, the first lady of motorcycle endurance, on that Neighbor of the Beast, sponsored by Army of Darkness, FisherTechnical.com, and they're in 11th place. The word has just come through from the pits. Arclight Suzuki, they've broken a timing chain just as we reach the top of the second hour, 2 hours down. And it looks terminal, but it looks like they are out of the race. So now the race is wide open as we get into the third hour, as we see Steve Karson on the Team Chicago 4 and 6 prepared Yamaha as he goes over the hump. His Yamaha dealers, 4 and 6 prepared. Now leading is Paramount Racing on a 600 Suzuki, and he had 4 and 6 prepared. AirTech, Suzuki of Greenville, and they are leading this race. Also on the charge, 22X, another Illinois team, J&J Motorsport, and that 900 Kawasaki. And they're sponsored by Vesra, Nielsen Motorsports, and they're charging the other number 22 coming back into the pits. That's Team Pennzoil, sponsored by Team Extreme, D&D, Motorsport Graphics, Suzuki of Canton, Country Boy Trailers. And this is a scheduled pit stop. I think they're going to be changing tires. They're charging a makeup. They had trouble in the first hour. You see him fuel up, getting ready to change that front tire. And you better get on the gas with this tire change. Get ready to pull out the axle. Army of Darkness is battling with that 1000 twin Honda. The 1000 twin Honda is Team Rapid Transit, sponsored by Multitech, Yamaha Chattanooga, Billy T. Michelin, and Tom Signs. But Army of Darkness has moved up to 3rd place. As we see 601 is Pensacola Motorsports on his 600 Kawasaki coming through the front straight. That hard stop, and then the sweeping right is Team Pennzoil. It looks like they got the front tire mounted, safety wire in the nut, and they're ready to roll on. This team out of Ball Ground, Georgia, sponsored by Team Extreme, D&D, Motorsport Graphics, as they head out to do battle. But they're 10 laps down from the leaders. They've had problems in that first hour as we see this group of riders heading through the infield. The downhill right-hander coming around to this hump or jump. 25 comes flashing by. That's PowerMotorsports.com on the 600 Yamaha. And they're running the top 10. They're sponsored by PowersportHeaven.com, Wintex Leathers, Bell Helmets, EBC, Woodcraft, Voltex, Intuitive, Dunlop, Lockhart Phillips, Yamaha, and Silklane. In the pits now, making a final rider change. Brian Healy getting on Leaning Lizard Racing, and they're sponsored by Kawasaki Team Green, Doug Kane Motorsports, Bridgestone, Elf Lubricants, Kirker, Vespa, Traction Dynamics, Renthal, Arcade Change, Alpine Stars, VP Fuel, and LP USA. As Steve Karson comes flashing by with D&D right with him in the front straightaway. Neighbor of the Beast has made a rider's change. Neighbor of the Beast on the 600 Suzuki. It's like Scott Fisher, sponsored by Army of Darkness, FisherTechnical.com. And they've moved up to the top 10. D&D has got a problem. Maybe they ran out of gas. Maybe they should have came in and pit. Uh-oh, as he heads down this back chute, but they're right around the corner from the pits. So if he can get over, if he'll get back into the pits, Team Pennzoil is charging, but right with them, 24, and in second place is MotoHeaven.com on the Yamaha 600, sponsored by PowersportHeaven.com, Wintex Leathers, and they are in second place and leading middleweight Superstock, and their partners, 25, PowersportHeaven.com on the 600 Yamaha. It looks like they have a problem with their exhaust bracket. They're back in the pits. Number 7, Carlisle Racing, sponsored by AirTech, Bell, Factory, Hindle, Lockhart Phillips. They're running about 12 to 13. But leading, Paramount Racing, number 65, on the 4 and 6 prepared AirTech. Suzuki of Greenville, Ape, Ephraim, K&N, Elf, Lockhart Phillips, Race Tech. These are the leaders running middleweight Superbike and leading overall as 25 finishes up their work. This has cost them a few laps. 71 is on the charge. 71 is Psychomotion Racing on the 600 Yamaha. They're out of Alabama, sponsored by Psychomotion, EBSCO, and big number 1 Yamaha. As we see this battle, Rapid Transit on the RC51 Big Twin 1000. And this is the first time I've seen this bike endurance race, and they're really charging. Army of Darkness is right behind them. Army of Darkness is in 3rd place. As they head through the infield, as we see Steve Karson on the Team Chicago, 4 and 6 prepared, Yamaha dealers, Race Tire Service Dunlop. And as Steve Karson comes flashing by over the jump, we moved ourselves up to 11th place. But a red flag comes out, and we're going to have a restart. And as I take the Team Chicago R6 out for the warm-up lap, we raced 2 hours and 55 minutes. 71 crashed. Psychomotion Racing. As we get ready for this restart, leading is Paramount Racing. And yet 600 Suzuki. 2nd place is MotoHeaven.com. 3rd place, Army of Darkness. J&J Motorsport is 4th on the 900 Kawasaki. D&D is 5th. Rapid Transit 6th. Psychomotion is 7th, even though they crashed. 8th place. Neighbor of the Beast, 9th place. Frickin' Frack. Leaning Lizards 10th. Team Chicago 11th. So I got a chance to make up some time. We got a caution flag out, or a debris flag. And now we get a red flag. Oh no, I can't believe it. Somebody crashed on the warm-up lap. What a rookie. Oh no, Joe, tell me it ain't so. There's a Yamaha laying there, number 25. That's PowersportHeaven.com, and they have crashed. Red flag. We're going to have another restart. Oh man, what a rookie mistake. How can you crash on a warm-up lap? That's something for amateurs. So I head back into the pit area. I can't believe it. And as luck would have it, the ambulance out, another red flag. We went past 3.5 hours, and with less than a half hour to go, the race was called. Picking up the win is Paramount Racing, MotoHeaven.com 2nd, Army of Darkness 3rd. In the points, heavyweight Superbike, it's still Arclight Suzuki. Heavyweight Super Stock, D&D Racing's up front. J&J's moved into 2nd. Middleweight Superbike, Army of Darkness is still leading, but hot on her heels is Paramount and Leaning Lizards. Middleweight Super Stock, MotoHeaven.com has moved into the lead. Neighbor of the Beast is 2nd. B&S Racing's 3rd. Team Chicago, boy, we got to get on the gas. We're 4th. Overall, Army of Darkness up front. Paramount is 2nd. Arclight has dropped down to 3rd in the overall. D&D 5th. MotoHeaven.com 6th. J&J, Leaning Lizards, Team Pennzoil, Neighbor of the Beast, and Team Chicago is 12th. So, but anyhow, picking up the win. What a great victory for Paramount Racing. Really ran a good, solid, strong race. And they've got that 4 and 6 prepared engine. They are the winners of this 4-hour National Endurance at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Oh, he's a little disappointed that I didn't get to ride and finish the race. Music for the show by Engine, Mike Breeds, Intrigue, and Travesty, and all this recorded at Fireside Studios, Westchester, Illinois. Special thanks to Dennis Torres and WERA for the additional video footage. I could not have done the show without their help. For more information on WERA, America's Road Race Leader, it's WERA.com, WERA.com. To contact me, it's teamdan45@gmail.com. I love to hear from my audience. And remember, you can always search on YouTube with Dan Schmitt Motorcycle Racing for great motorcycle racing action. And I highly encourage you to visit the World Motorcycle Museum, Winamac, Indiana, 4 miles south of North Judson on Indiana 39. Give them a call first at 574-896-3172. It's a great collection of motorcycles and a great trip.